we're talking about the issue of responding to the challenge of the current economic downturn using lean concepts and lean tools. And we want to turn our attention now to how we manage people. Now, people, of course, the labor part of our product usually is the smallest part of our product cost, but it's not insignificant. And we want to talk about how to manage that correctly as things go down, or for that matter, as things go up, as we begin to grow. So one of the key concepts in our lean toolkit is called standard work. Concept of standard work, which is really looking at each of our products and documenting in a step-by-step manner the work that's required to build that product or do that work. And we're not just talking about documenting the work steps, we're also talking about capturing times. So how long should it take for a reasonably trained average person to do that work? So standard time and standard work is really a key concept we need to have in place to be able to respond to this current downturn, or as we grow in the future, the current or the future upturn.
As we see with many of our clients and companies, as we read the newspaper, what we notice is that the temptation, as soon as the economy turns sour, is to go around and start cutting costs, which you need. But sometimes what we do is we go after the usual suspects. People are easy to see, easy to use them as the first item to cut costs. The question is, if we do have to lay off some people or let some people go, how many? And if we have to hire during the upswing, how many also? So the topic also relates to knowing or having a way to calculate the number of people that we do need regardless of which direction the economy is going.
Right, so how do we go about doing this? Well, typically you would go out on the factory floor or into the office if you're a non-manufacturing company, and you would have a tablet of paper or a form that you might want to use to fill out, and you have a pencil in your hand and maybe a stopwatch. And what you'd like to do is, product by product, observe the work being performed and document each discrete work step and capture the time. Probably a sampling of times as well. And what you'll end up with then is a list of steps and some times, and then a host of other types of information we might want to gather at the same time. For example, are we using material as we do this work? We might want to capture that as long as we're out there and observing. Quality aspects of the work. Are there opportunities to make mistakes? Let's use this opportunity when you're documenting the work steps to do something about error-proofing the work, or at least implementing a operator inspection so that if errors do occur, we can catch them at the point where they do occur. So what we're going to end up with then is, on a product-by-product basis, the documentation we need to do this kind of resource planning that we're talking about. So all that said, going out to the factory floor or going out to the office, observing the work that people are doing, documenting the work step by step, and also capturing work content times, is not to imply that all that is very easy. Usually we have a lot of processes and a lot of different products. So this is an effort, but well worth it, because we're going to need this tool to do the staffing, as we've been talking about, and for a host of other purposes in our company.
Very good point Richard's making. And Richard mentioned that what we have to do is document the work steps and a host of other items associated with the work steps, and that needs to be done on a process-by-process basis. So then we can use that data to put it into a staffing calculation tool. Now, the form we can use, the form we recommend, even though it's not the only one out there, we call the standard work definition. If you take a look at our book, The Fundamentals of Flow Manufacturing, or in Aerospace Flow, you will find the standard work definition in Chapter 7. Take a look at that form. Is very useful, very complete, but there are other sources like Standard Work for Operators from Productivity Press. Now, once we have that data, standard work for people or machines, or a combination of both, on a process-by-process basis, we want to take that data and put it into a staffing calculation tool. Usually what we recommend is to use an ad hoc tool like an Excel spreadsheet. It's simple, it's easy to maintain. However, if your ERP system allows for staffing calculation, go ahead and use it. The secret there is to make sure that you don't rely on existing routing times that sometimes may not reflect the reality. You have to take the times from the standard work definitions, the time you document them, you documented and put those into your ERP system, which might make it a little more difficult than just using a spreadsheet.
Okay, so just to wrap up this discussion on staffing, there's a great opportunity we want to be able to take advantage of if we have a staffing tool in place and if we're able to respond and adjust our staffing to the actual demand, customer demand. You may find that on occasion you have excess people or additional people. These are people that you're going to keep, but for any given day or given week, you may find them available to do other things. This is a great opportunity we'll be addressing in this series, the Survive and Thrive series, about the opportunity to use these additional people to work on process improvement projects. In other words, take advantage of the resources you already have in-house and the people that already know the work to work on process improvement projects as the staffing tool determines. Don't overstaff. Staff correctly and then use your additional resources, if you have them, to continue on down the road towards this goal of perfection that we have within our lean vision.
Absolutely. Remember, the name of this series is to survive and thrive, and to be able to thrive, you have to engage the workforce in continuous process improvement. Cutting the fat is okay. Cutting too deep may hurt you in the long term. Thank you for your time. We'll see you the next time.
Bye.
Good one.